Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Can't look at Donovan right now. Welcome to another episode of Becoming a Cop on YouTube. Donovan, swing out, man.
It's such fancy music. I mean, how can you not want to dance?
Dude. Folks, Donovan is going to be dancing, providing entertainment tonight for the podcast.
That's what I do.
I don't even think I said welcome. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Becoming a Cop. We're part of policebackground.net, Police Applicant podcast. And tonight is going to be a little bit different. Because Donovan is taking the reins tonight, running the show. And who knows? The people may speak and go, Ken, you're worthless. Donovan is the man.
Well, we know that's not going to be the case. Let's be honest, Ken. Come on.
Well, you don't know. I've been in talks with Donovan over the years. I said, I'm not going to be doing a podcast forever. And someone's going to need to carry the torch one of these years.
I've got a couple torches in my closet.
A couple of torches. We saw the one last week. So, yeah. But I got nothing to report for this week.
Are you keeping up with the World Cup?
Absolutely no. What do you want me to know?
It's been a great tournament. Every game has been fantastic.
How often are the World Cups? Are they every 4 years or
every 4 years?
So it's like the Olympics. That's why it's such a big deal. And is the U.S. the only host for this one?
No, this one it's Canada, U.S., and Mexico are hosting.
All right.
And that's new, that multiple countries. So U.S. hosted in '94, and I think they were the only country that wasn't the three. So,
you know what I did like? There are these. What's going on here?
What is that, Ken?
I don't know what's going on. It's supposed to move me over. I don't know why.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to. Well, what's going on here?
What is happening?
Oh,
I'm not touching anything. This is amazing content. Just follow. Keep it up. Oh, look at all this.
Why is this happening? Wait, hang on now. This is supposed to work on its own.
Yeah, well, it says demo chat.
Well,
Ken's having technical difficulties. That's why I'm in control today.
No, it's supposed to. Hang on.
Oh, I see what button you're clicking.
Well, yeah, but why doesn't it just show? It says show on stream, and it's being weird. Why is that?
Oh, hold on. Let's just do this then, Ken, if you want.
Show me how to do that.
Let's do this. Does that take it out of it? There we go.
Well, yeah, but why is it not?
Well, you needed a comment in there before you actually do it. Otherwise, it's just going to do the demo stuff. Is that what you want now?
Well, that's fine, but why on my end it shows it's overlaying on me? Why is that happening?
Oh, it's not over. Not on mine. It isn't. Now it is, but it wasn't the black area on mine.
On me, it was okay. Show on stream. Now it's not showing on the stream at all. Oh, look at that! It's at the bottom. Yeah, because if I
that's where it's been.
Yeah, but it's showing on my end. It shows that it's like if people comment.
So Lauren,
what?
When he quits, then you can be the co-host, the permanent co-host.
There you go.
So do you want me to still cheer him up?
I don't know what's going on with this because if people talk, it'll go over my face. The graphics will go over my face. It's not doing that to you?
No, it just goes over your face.
Why though?
I don't know.
Why does it say demo on it?
Mine doesn't say demo at all anywhere.
It shouldn't say. Oh, there. I took demo off, but it's still not. Pardon us, folks, as we learn.
I'm like, is Ken going to let us get started here, or are we just going to keep testing out equipment?
Whenever I use it, it's always been like we move over, and then the chat is on the right side, and this one is just superimposing itself over my face, so it kind of pisses me off. But
do you need to use a new scene? There's another scene on the side there. Is it a different scene?
I tried it didn't work.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't
All
have
right.
time to play with it, but
Could we get back to the podcast, Ken? Or
wait, I need you to cheer me up.
well, I asked her, does she want me to? I mean, she could be looking at a job and making all the lavish money that I'm making. I would actually give you twice what I'm making, Lauren.
There you go, Lauren. He's making it. He's floating an offer to you.
Mm-hmm.
The empire could be yours.
Mm-hmm.
The empire of the police. Yeah. Let me see. Let me see here. So with that, I think you're supposed to take over.
Are you going to let me take over, or are you going to keep playing?
No, I'm going to keep talking.
Okay. All right. So
So-
tonight, this is what we're going to do tonight. Tonight, we're going to pick Ken's brain. And
Oh,
we're
are
gonna-
we? Is that what we're going to do?
So it'll be a short episode. Wow, Lauren's already kicked you out.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's fine. That's fine. I'm just whatever. Whatever. Whatever.
She did accept the deal, though. See that?
Look at that.
All right. So tonight, what we want to do is help everyone who's applying for law enforcement. It's always one of those nerve-wracking things, but kind of get the insight of what a background investigator looks at in those first minutes when they either get your paper packet if they're living in the Stone Ages, or if they open up your personal history statement on the computer, what they do in those first 10 minutes, what they start thinking about as they're evaluating that packet. Okay. So, Ken, I'm flying these at you right now. Okay. Ken has no idea what I'm even going to ask him.
No, I do not.
So, when you open up that personal history statement, however you open it, first we take an overall look at the whole thing, right? What are you looking for just at your first glance of the packet?
So I'm visualizing, because I'm a visual person. I'm looking at myself opening the file.
Mm-hmm.
First off, I'm going to pull out I'm not going to look at the PHS yet.
Okay.
Because there's all kinds of crap everywhere. And there's check boxes that I need to check off to make sure documents are in and all that. So I'm going to look at all the documents. I'm going to sort them. I'm going to put them underneath their specific tabs.
Okay.
So I don't have this big mess everywhere of paperwork.
All right.
So then I'm going to look at the PHS.
Okay. Let's stop right there for a second. So let's just talk about the paperwork. Transcripts, college transcripts, high school transcripts. What if they didn't get those into you yet? Do you want something from them indicating that they ordered their transcripts, or are you okay just them saying, hey, they're on the way?
No, that's fine, because that's already in the what they're being told to do.
Okay.
I'll wait on that till the meet and greet, and if they don't have them by the meet and greet, then I'll tell them, hey, can't do your background till you get those in. Those are mandatory documents.
All right. All right. So now you're at your PHS. All right. Just when you do your first glance on it, not getting into any of the details, just your first glance, what are you kind of looking at right away?
Well, I'm going to go through the whole thing, see if it's crap, see if it's filled out completely, because if it's really in bad shape, where it's not completed correctly or blah 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 whatever, then I'm going to. That's the first thing I'm going to look for to see if it's done correctly. The second thing, and this is the most honest answer I'll give you, is I'm looking for DQ issues.
Okay. All right. So when you say, so are there specific areas that you look for? Like when you were doing LAPD, were there certain sections you went to right away because you knew that majority of the time that's where those DQ issues would pop up?
Yeah, it's going to be employment. It's going to be applications. It's going to be drugs.
Okay.
It's going to be driving. And just the big things that stand out. Yeah. And legal stuff. Like, what have you done that's illegal?
Okay. Let's go employment. You said employment first. So what are some things you're looking for in employment when you just do your first look to see if, hey, are they a viable candidate or not?
Well, probably the easiest thing to do is to see what the jobs are, and to see if they're people who take off. They work 6 months, they quit. They work 6 months, they quit. They can't get a year in. They've had 10 jobs in 9 years. And those are some of the first things. Obviously, the second thing I'm looking for is write-ups and if you've been fired.
Okay. All right. You talked about like multiple jobs, maybe short time at job. What about big gaps in their employment history?
Like if you quit and then if you quit or get fired and then you don't have a job for months and months,
Yep. Yep.
that's a red flag.
Why is that a red flag?
Because you have to have continuous good employment for at least 12 months.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be necessarily the same job. As long as you're not job hopping, you can have one job for 6 months, another job for 6 months, but it's great. They love you. You don't have any write-ups, and you went on to, you got more pay or something like that. But gaps, a lot of gaps. And one of the big things that I do not like is like you're not working right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason you give for not working, because I want to pursue my goal of being a police officer full time. That's not a job.
And I've seen that people quit. And I'm gonna get a job in law enforcement. What are they thinking?
They're gonna take every day 8 hours a day and focus on getting a job as a police officer.
Right.
Whenever I see that, I'm like, are you kidding me? Go get a job. That's my personal opinion.
So I'm going to answer this too, but I want to get your take on it. If you're looking at, let's say, a 10-year period, how many is two jobs in that 10-year period?
Okay, repeat that.
So if I look at a 10-year period and someone has multiple jobs, when do you start thinking, well, you've had far too many jobs and you're calling it job hopping?
I like to see the whole purpose of the employment history is that they have, let's say you have 5 jobs in 10 years
Mm-hmm.
and you leave after 2 years, 3 years, whatever. If you're leaving for better employment, better pay to advance yourself, that's fine. That's fine. But I like to see people in 10 years, I'd like to see maybe 3, 4 jobs total.
Okay. Any concerns if all of a sudden you open it up and you see 15 jobs?
Yep.
Okay. And that's without even looking at what they left for. You see 15 jobs in a 10-year period, you're like, whoa, hold on here. Something's wrong, right?
Yeah. And in that case, it wouldn't matter to me if they didn't have any write-ups or anything. You're just job hopping. One of the things about employment history is departments don't want you to spend $100,000 on getting you hired and trained and all that stuff, and then you leave.
Right. Right.
So being a job hopper, they're not looking for those types of people.
And I'm the same way. I mean, for me, even if I see 10 jobs in that 10-year period, now what would change it for me is if I see a large number of jobs, however, their most current job they've been at for a year or two. Now they're showing that maybe they've grown up and now there's some commitment on their end.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if they go, oh, I had X amount of jobs in this amount of time, but my last 2 jobs were, 3 and 5 years.
Right.
Then yeah, that's fine. That's a pass.
Yeah. Because we're looking for patterns and it looks like they're breaking that pattern of the job hopping at that point then, right?
Yeah. Nobody wants someone who's a job hopper, because it shows instability. You're not happy. And then to tag along that, you have somebody that has a lot of jobs and they go, why'd you leave? Oh, they were picking on me. Oh, why'd you leave? Oh, the boss didn't like me. Oh, why'd you leave? They. Never the candidate.
Right.
Ever.
Right. So Lauren's on fire tonight.
Manifestation. Where'd it go?
I think we both clicked it.
Oh, manifestation of what though?
Yeah, but that's when they quit to get a job in law enforcement. They're doing manifestation.
Oh, they're willing
Yes.
themselves a job.
Yeah, so her next comment actually falls in the line there. Yeah.
There you go.
You have to think it into existence.
So the fourth co-host is saying that you can quit your job if you think it. Positive thinking.
And you should put an explanation in there that you're trying
Yes.
to manifest into the new position.
Yes. That's what you need to do, because there's a lot of candidates that actually probably think like that though, for real.
Right. Oh yeah, I think so. All right, so let's move on. The next thing that I'll look at timeline consistencies. Real quick. I just want to make sure that things line up, right? That the dates that they have.
Oh yeah.
And again, that goes with employment. You see things going on with employment that don't line up. Hold on here.
She's laughing with
Yes.
we got it right. Did we not understand that?
Yes. What about if they have gaps in their employment, but they don't explain those gaps?
Well, on most PHSs that I've seen, there's a line in between each employment that says unemployed, and explain why.
Well, yeah, but now we're in the day and age of electronic. So you have to add each employment. So if you add like your current employer, you have to click add an employer. And when you do that, you can actually put in unemployed. So I've had them where they just do all employment and they don't put in any of their unemployment time. It's just big gaps.
No, you can't. You can't go from December 2025 to February is your next job. You got to have the January to February gap in there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're looking at those consistencies. We're looking at jobs, school dates, maybe overlapping with jobs that don't make sense, right? So those are the kind of things we're looking at. All right. What about driving history? When you get to the driving history section, what are some quick things that you just look at right away?
First, I just remembered something.
Oh man.
There are people that job hop, and it's okay. It's the ones.
I know who you're talking about. We'll see if we're thinking the same.
It's the ones who are in college full time. They're going out of state. They're there for 9 months. They get a job. They come back. They quit. They come back. They don't work, or they get another little job, and then they go back 3 months later and get another job. And those are okay if you're going to college full time.
Okay, that wasn't the route I was going. That's a good one though. But what about those that work in the service industry, bartenders and waiters and waitresses? Because that's a high turnover business.
Is it really? I mean, I don't know. I don't remember. I can't remember someone who was in the service industry and had, really a job hopping type of existence. So I can't remember that.
Well, and again, the difference is when you were doing it for LAPD, you were getting the people in who wanted to be cops, right? Now we're seeing more of, I just need a job, or I need a better job. I need more money. And I've started to see that now. And I've learned a lot because my boss, he used to own a bar and told me it is just normal for them to hop, from place to place.
Yeah.
You have to figure out the reason why they're hopping then,
I think in that situation, I think a lot of time in the service industry, the minimum wage is the same because it's statewide. And I think that has to do with whether the environment is good for them to work in. I think that's just, you're right. That's a very high turnover environment. What about this? Have you noticed a trend with the younger applicants having more jobs than previous applicants from maybe, I don't know, like 10 years ago?
I've seen that a ton.
Also, don't major DQ issues get tossed before they get to backgrounds? Those are two different questions.
Yeah, we can talk about that one in a second, but let's talk about the applicants having more jobs. I'm seeing that. I'm seeing those younger applicants are coming in. They have more jobs than what we normally used to have from applicants. And again, it's because we're getting more and more people who just never thought about being a cop. And they're only doing it because they want a job or they need a job. I mean, that's at least my take on it, but I'm seeing more people coming in with a more robust, I guess, job history.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have that, but then also it just occurred to me that that people nowadays, they can't survive on the wages that they get. And sometimes they have two jobs. Sometimes they try to get a job I'm just trying to make a living, so I have to go to this job or something like that.
There are those, but I'm seeing more that just, again, I didn't get along with my boss. They didn't treat me fairly. Those excuses that we were doing before, I'm seeing more of that. And that's kind of that entitlement that's coming up with that younger generation.
Before we get to that second one,
Yeah.
don't get me started on. We're just going to talk about it, but don't get started on it.
Boy, and then she goes hard.
They're all pretend. Our fourth co-host is bringing the heat tonight. That
anyone in the service industry, that was Lauren who said that. That was not Ken or I. Please don't spit in our food when we order food.
I worked in the service industry. When I was 16 to 18, I worked at McDonald's and Jack in the Box.
Oh, I was a Burger King guy.
You were Burger King.
I was.
I got fired. I got fired from Jack in the Box.
Huh.
I had been there for a long time, in like 2 years, and then a new manager came in, and he didn't like me. I mean, he literally just didn't like me, and he fired me. He goes, "I'm gonna fire you." I go, "Oh, really?" And they don't have to tell you why.
Right.
And I knew he didn't like me. And then what happened? And they asked me during my oral interview with LEPD, "So why did you get fired?" And I said, "He didn't like me." And I got fired, and they were like, "Oh, okay."
Did you ever get to wear the Jack in the Box head?
Not the head, but I got the little hat and the little orange smock.
Well,
they had little orange schmucks back
figured
then.
You had that. I wanted to know if you could like make burgers wearing the head.
Make burgers in the head. Oh my gosh.
Lauren's on fire.
This is how it's like what was that guy that they used to sell suits or something? "I'm not only the owner, I'm a customer too."
Oh yeah. No, that's the hair club for men.
Oh, hair club for men.
Yeah.
So Lauren,
I could never get a coupon, so I stuck with this.
The bar, lots of money, but lots of BS. Oof.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine so. I mean, is working in the service industry, and I mean no offense, but is working in the service industry the same as working in the carnival? Are those carny people the same people?
I would say that's a different breed. The carnies, that's a different breed.
Because they come and go too. I mean, it's not like I got my pension after 30 years in the carny. It's not like that.
Yeah, but I walk into a restaurant, I feel pretty comfortable getting my food. I go to a carnival, I ain't getting on those rides.
Those are trustworthy rides.
Not happening. Right? Yeah, not happening.
What about the second part
of her question? Yeah, you bringing it up?
Yeah, I'm trying to get to it here.
Like I was hovering right over it.
Oh, also,
right. Yeah. So major DQ issues, don't they get tossed out before they get the backgrounds?
Ooh, I got an opinion about this.
You start with that.
Me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Man,
what's your opinion on this?
I spent my whole actual field work time with LEPD backgrounds. Mm-hmm. In 2001, personnel took over backgrounds from LEPD. And then I went back there in 2003 to 2018. So personnel was in charge. And you could have somebody come in literally in skater shorts with a big chain for their wallet in the back, tennis shoes, a T-shirt, some frumpy haircut, and a beanie. And they wouldn't send them home. So take that, and then you look at DQ issues. You could go to somebody and go, "Hey, so this is a DQ." And they go, "Yeah, but we don't want to," because they didn't want to lose people.
Right.
So do people get tossed before they get to backgrounds? No, not really.
I got an opinion on this one too, Ken, believe it or not. Because I too have talked with background investigators, maybe one that you know, HR in charge of the whole process. And HR physically talked to someone who had an AK-47 tattooed right here. Gosh. And I forget what was tattooed over on this side. They were fine with them moving through the process, which goes against that agency's policies about tattoos. But again, they are more concerned about getting butts and seats than they are about making sure we're getting quality candidates through. So then that person ends up going into backgrounds to then get disqualified very quickly, right?
Yeah. But why are they keeping them? Why are they letting them go through though?
Because again, when you look at, if you look at recruiters and you look at human resources, it is solely about numbers. How many do you have testing? How many are we pushing through the process? They want their numbers high. They don't care then that makes the background unit the bad guys because they have to keep disqualifying. Why are you disqualifying so many people? Well, then you got to say, because they keep sending us crappy people.
Yeah.
So,
oh, I don't know, man. In answer to your question, Lauren, there are people I talk. Oh my gosh, I did an intake interview when we used to do the PHS pre-interviews. They would turn their PHSs in, and we would sit with them. We got assigned to do it. There's specifically, this is just one story, but there's a lot of them. This guy, I'm sitting across from him. I'm looking through it, and I'm looking at his PHS, and he noted on there that he had been convicted of DUI.
Okay.
Last week. And he's sitting in front of me to become a cop. So they didn't send him home. He was sitting in front of me. So in answer to your question, Lauren, not always, and it's frustrating to the BIs that the people that are sitting in front of us should have been sent home a long time ago and not seen the light of day, but that's not the way it works. And in today's, Donovan's right, because recruitment has their bread and butter is sending recruits. And every time they send a recruit and sign one up, they get brownie points for it. It doesn't matter how they land in the process. They have their numbers. Right.
I always go back to, do you want quantity or do you want quality?
I want quality.
That's what I want. I've had some officers come to me and say, why aren't you hiring more people? And that's what I go back with. Do you want quantity or you want quality? I mean, they're the one. For me right now, I'm a civilian at my department. I'm not going to work with these people. But I'm trying to keep the standard high because I want to make sure that the troopers that are out there, that they actually have someone that they can depend on. So I take a little integrity into that. So, all right. So let's just say you hit the driving history portion of the PHS. What are you looking for there real quick when you just do your quick scan? What things are you looking for that are going to draw your attention?
At fault accidents and tickets.
The other one I go to all the time too is insurance.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Insurance is a big one. I don't know why that's such a big one for me, but it really is,
And another one is the car has to live at the address that you live. You can't use mom's address because it's cheaper.
Right. I won't even get into the new scam I just learned about. So, yeah, I'm not going to get into that. We're not going to talk about that.
Unless again, if you are a full-time student,
college.
Yeah. And you take your car out of state or something like that, and it's not, and the address on your insurance isn't the out-of-state college, don't sweat that. I wouldn't care about that at all.
What if I have 3 speeding tickets, but they're spaced out? If you look at it as 7-year, it's like one at 7 years, one at 3 years, and I just got one recently. Is that something you're going to be concerned about?
I'm going to be mostly concerned with about the last 3 years.
Okay.
And if you have 3 or 4 tickets, I'll go with 3 tickets. If you have 3 tickets in the last 3 years, you have to have at least one of the years free.
Okay.
Any tickets. But that doesn't make you clear. That just means I'm going back 3 years. I can go back 5 years.
Are there any tickets that you look at and you're like, oh, this is going to be a hard pass?
Like going over 100 miles an hour.
Okay.
Things like it's interesting if you present to me a driving record that has tinted windows that you got tickets for, and you got a ticket for this month, and then you got a ticket for it 6 months later, and then a ticket for it 9 months later. What you're telling me is you don't respect the law.
Right.
You know, because that's going to be respect for the law issue. Even though it may not be a DQ issue, it could be respect for the law. So tickets, at fault accidents, and you know, let's see if you keep getting tickets. If you keep getting speeding tickets time and time again, you're not learning your lesson.
And is that someone that we want as a cop? I mean, if they're speeding as a civilian, now you put them in a cop car with lights and siren, is that going to be a danger now?
If you're a bad driver and you're driving a really if you're driving a really bunch of tons of whatever it is of car in an emergency situation, yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I talked about this before, right? I know someone who was a horrible driver on the job and he got fired for it.
It wouldn't be the first.
Yeah, you have to be really good. Oh, wait. Wait, the window tint is revenue for the city. They don't care anymore. They just fine you. No removal necessary. So you just keep getting tickets then.
I would consider then that's a lack of intelligence if you keep getting tickets.
You know what? You were a motor officer.
Mm-hmm.
Did you carry around one of those CHP like little window tint
meter?
things?
Yes, I did.
How does that work?
Basically, it slides over the window, and there's a little beam of light that goes between two sensors and is able to tell you how dark the tint is.
So let's help our audience with this tint thing. How do you, because you go to the tint guy and he goes, no, this is fine. This is totally legal. And then you get a ticket. So I wouldn't trust the tint guy.
No.
How are you supposed to determine, should you have your own little tint meter or what?
Well, you, number one, find out what your state law says, because every state is different. I found out in Nevada here, I mean, you can almost black your car out, including the windshield.
Don't get tint on your windshield, guys.
Oh, that's big here in Nevada.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Golly.
They tint every piece of glass in Nevada. Okay. But find out what how much light is supposed to be allowed through. And then when you go to the tint shop, you can actually specify, they should have it all laid out, the tints laid out as to like 15%, 20%, whatever it is. And you should be able to just tell them, hey, this is the percentage I want that's within state law. If they say, oh, you can go a little darker, you're going to run the risk of getting a ticket.
I mean,
if you go to a quality shop, they're going to be able to show you the tint they're putting on with what the manufacturer says the percentage is. Match it up with your state law. You go to another one.
You're being challenged here, Donovan.
What? Yeah. What am I being challenged?
Saying that they have tint in their windows.
Yeah. Is that, I don't know what California's laws are on window tinting.
Well, I don't know either. No problem. That's no problem at all.
Most cop cars have window tint because we want to try to keep people from looking in.
Yeah.
Most agencies have gone to that. I mean, you drive around the country, most cop cars now have window tinting.
I wonder if there's a carve out in the vehicle code for cop cars that they can do that.
I know in Wisconsin and Washington, where I work, there was not.
Yeah. Just be mindful of the tinted windows, laws. And most cars I've bought from, even when I've bought a couple of new cars, even those ones have tinted windows. So, and you can tint the back of your windows all day long. But it's just the drivers and front passenger windows you can't.
Right.
Because cops want to see who's driving. Right.
All right. Let's get Ken's view on financial responsibility when you look at credit reports and stuff.
Ooh. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. What are you looking for when you get to that financial responsibility? What stands out to you?
Collections, liens, tax liens, charge-offs.
Okay.
I don't care. You know, there are some background investigators, they get a little too into the credit report. For my taste, I mean, I don't look at all the little lates and all the little codes and stuff like that. I'm just looking to see if they've got collections liens. Tax liens are bad. Having a tax lien, normally don't see mechanics liens on those, but having a tax lien where the federal government coming after you, or the state, because you didn't pay your taxes.
Right.
Charge-offs are kind of tricky though, right?
They can be,
Because
yeah.
charge-offs means that they tried to collect, they sent you to collections and you gave them the middle finger and then they just charged it off. Try to get that off your credit report.
They charged it off, and they can still sell that off to collections agencies once they charge it off, can't they?
I'm not sure because charge-offs are generally means that they go, oh well, and they eat the collection because now it's a charge-off, and then I think they take a tax deduction for the loss. So I don't think they can reverse it, but I mean I'm not an expert on that, but that's my take on it.
So when you talk about the late pays on the credit report, you say you don't focus on that at all. That's one that I actually look at.
Yeah.
And I look at that only because if I see someone who continuously pays late on their cards, is that going to start showing me a pattern on how they actually handle their life in general? Are they just always late on stuff? Is this going to be a person now that I'm going to have to track down because they're not turning in reports on time? What is that? Am I going to be able to tie that into other things? Maybe late credit card payments. Now you all of a sudden you're finding out they're paying late on their mortgage, late on their rent. So I'll do a quick scan on those lates too.
Yeah, that's something that I normally don't pay attention to because there's a lot of codes, and depending on which credit agency your department uses, the codes are different and all that. I just didn't want to get into learning all that stuff. But most BIs that I know, they don't pay attention to that. They just want to know that you're up to date on your credit, your bills and everything, and you're not late. And, you don't owe them money, that you should be financially responsible. That's about it.
All right, let's get your opinion now. We just had COVID. How many years ago?
2020.
So there was that point there that people were struggling financially. And what I found, at least, is there's more people who had stuff go to collections. There was more repossessions, and there were more charge-offs. So if someone was involved in that, they had that. I mean, they just got on hard times because the government shut everything down. You couldn't work, any of that stuff. How do they recover from that in this? I mean, you're talking, what, 6 years ago now? Which is still pretty recent. How did they recover from that when you're looking at that packet quick? If you look at it and you see that collection, what are you looking for?
A lot of times when people are in those kind of dire straits, there's a time usually with the background units where they overlook that stuff. And if you could say, yeah, I know people that lost their businesses, lost their jobs, got laid off, and there's so many of them. You got to go, hey, this is a pattern here. I'm not going to hold it against them. And for a certain amount of time, but it has to be specifically during that time period, and that they were struggling with losing their job or something like that. Another one also is medical bills. Because you get hit with a medical bill and you don't have sufficient insurance, you could be on the hook for tens of thousands of dollars. And who has that just sitting around? So in those incidents, COVID and medical, I would say, you kind of look at it individually and the individual bills, and maybe give them a pass for a certain amount of time.
So how, and we've talked about this in the past, but how does an applicant, when they have their personal history statement, they have this thing going on that, yep, they ran into some hard times. How do they get that across to the background investigator before that background investigator decides to just disqualify them before they ever have a chance to come in for a meet and greet? How do they get that across?
They're usually on the PHS, the very last page is like a blank page, and they say, put whatever you want here. And that's where I would go in the back page. Anytime you have something that you can't explain fully, or there's no line for it or question for it on the PHS, put it on that last page and say, I just want to explain this or that. I fell on hard times. We both lost our jobs. I had kids or whatever, and put that on there. And so the BI can look at it before they meet you. Don't just leave it to chance.
Right. And that's what I wanted to get at is, get that explanation out there. In the day and age with these going electronic now, normally, if you are checking something that does not work in your favor, a box will magically appear under that question for you to type in. get some information in there that, number one, makes sense, and that's going to explain the situation so that the background investigator understands it.
Yeah. Yeah. You get one shot. You get one shot to get in front of the background investigator, and you don't want them to make to form an opinion before they even talk to you. You get one shot.
One shot. All right, let's go with, I'm only going to do maybe one or two more of these, and then we'll get into the next topic. Let's talk about the legal stuff, legal matters.
Ooh, that's interesting.
You know, what do they say, underage drinking. Do you care or do you not?
I don't care.
Okay. Providing alcohol to someone underage.
I don't care. It's not that I don't care morally. It's just like, it's like giving cigarettes to somebody, or a lot of times when they say I gave alcohol to a minor, they're usually going where everybody's going to a party. I gave them some beer or something like that. But if you're handing out bottles of hard liquor to people, that might be an issue there, because then you just don't care, you know. But it's kind of it's not okay in a certain sense. You're letting 18, 17, 18-year-olds drink. It's not okay in that sense, but in the big scheme of things, it's almost like a rite of passage. I mean, I don't know anybody in the history of the world that said, "Oh, I can't wait till I'm 21 so I can have a beer." So I don't know anybody that's done that.
That was me, Ken.
You didn't have one beer until I was 21.
I grew up in Wisconsin, and no, never. All right, let me use one that for some reason, this always came up for me. Growing up, and this isn't me personally, but just an applicant would tell me, hey, growing up, we had this big property and there was a stream that went right by our property. My parents always told us, you can go back there and fish. We're not going to worry about getting a license. And I still do it today.
You go back and you said you go back and you do what?
Fish without a license.
So do you think that's okay?
My dad said it was okay. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I could care less. That's
Really?
just government fishing without a license.
Yeah, but again, it's a law. It's just, you said window tint and you don't get it taken care of. That's just government overreach, isn't it?
If you get a ticket, for fishing without a license,
Okay.
it's going to count against you, but I'm not going to take it super seriously, because you were foraging for your family to try and get food on the table. And then the government came in, and the man came in and tried to, tried to harass you for a fish.
Oh,
No,
man.
that's
Okay.
a no.
All right. That's interesting. Interesting.
What do you think about it? Yeah, do you take that the fishing license thing, if they get a ticket for it, hardcore type of thing?
I do. And, you know, if they're fishing without a license, and I've had them where they actually got a ticket and they still continue to do it. And I look at it as, because I don't know about you, I watch all these reality shows, and you watch people up in the Yukon and Alaska and all over the place. Those people all get their license and they won't hunt outside the restrictions, and they are literally foraging for their food. You know, I mean, if people who are literally foraging for their food, that's what they have to survive on, they can follow the hunting laws. Why can't someone who's just out fishing to relax? Lauren, you're dead to me.
You're in the minority. 2 to 1, 2 to 1.
No.
2 to 1. Let him
Getting rid of
fish. Let them fish. Yeah, you gotta think of something better than that, though. Fishing license.
I don't know. That was a good one because it's on the books.
Well, yeah, but so is, giving minors a cigarette under 18 or something like that. I mean, how far do you want to take some of this stuff? Some of this stuff I go like, whatever.
Is fishing without a license, is that starting to show a pattern though with the person?
You're killing me with the fishing without a license, man.
But I'm just looking at it. Look, come on.
There's a man.
Lauren, go away. Lauren, you're angering me now.
There was a man in Oregon who who violated the law and got convicted on his own property. He was collecting rainwater. And the town had a law against him collecting rainwater from the sky that God made. And he got convicted of it. I think did he spend 30 days in jail or something? I don't remember what it was.
I think you're
rainwater.
Full of it. No, that never happened. In Oregon?
In Oregon, yeah.
No, I don't believe. Show me the story. You'll have to find that story and show me. I don't believe it.
Do you want me to find it while you are?
No. We're going to move on now, Ken.
Because it really happened, man.
Usually I'm the one who's twinkling the keys to find that stuff.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not hosting tonight. You are. I should be able to look all this stuff.
I'm on thin ice?
Go
away.
Put on notice,
I can control the comments too.
Oh my gosh. Keep going, Lauren. Keep going. We have them on the ropes, man. Let's go back to the fishing license.
No, we're going to stay away from that because we're not going to see eye to eye on that. I think it starts creating patterns though in people.
Yeah, but I have to have some.
If no one's going to see it, then I can keep doing it. So if at work a night shift, if no one sees me doing something, I can keep doing it.
Yeah, but I think I need something a little more solid than
I think that's pretty solid. I can think of some groups who talk about fishing, man, they'll lose their minds.
Oh yeah.
Let's move on. Let's go on to the background investigator looks at everything. You come in for your meet and greet. You go on your merry way. All of a sudden, the background investigator calls you and says, "Hey, I need you to come back in."
Uh-oh.
What is that interview called?
That's a discrepancy interview or a clarification interview.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. I mean, it could be scary for someone, couldn't it?
Yeah, because you don't want to be called back into the office for an in-person interview. Because why can't they just call me on the phone? Why can't they just ask me a question over the phone?
Right. So let's just say Ken has now discovered something that was not disclosed. We won't go fishing without a license.
I found out that you got a ticket for fishing without.
I didn't. No, I always had my license. Always. I'm trying to think what's a common thing someone gets called back in for that's not always a good thing that you find out.
If they get go again with it.
I got it. Hold on. I'm just trying to think of an example. So let's just say someone left an employer and said it just wasn't a good fit. Now you do your investigation. Well, they left because they were being investigated for some violation at work. Now you got to bring them in. Okay. So you bring them back in for that. All right. First, when they come in, how should they present themselves to you? Not as to the story or anything, but when they come in, I mean, should they be on guard? Should they be a babbling idiot? I mean, come on.
You're talking about when the candidate comes in and you confront them with it.
Yep.
How should they should just be professional. They obviously supposedly don't know why they're there.
Right. Yep.
And they're just there, I mean, I don't know how you present yourself other than any other interview. Just be professional and answer the questions.
Right. Okay. So you bring up what it is. All right. In my background, this is what I discovered.
Right.
Now, what's the best approach for this, for them? Do you want to downplay it? What do you want to do?
I want to,
what do you want the candidate to do?
When I present the information to them, I want them to be honest. Usually I walk them down a path though.
Okay.
I walk them down the path of, so is there anything else you want me to know about? And then they'll go, no, I got nothing. There's nothing else you want to talk about. And then I'll say, okay, anything happened at this job? No, nothing happened at this job. You sure? Do you know, what about, did you ever hear anything about this? No, never heard anything about that. And I'll say, denied. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. And the Clinton style. Did I do my Clinton?
You did. Yeah, that was pretty good.
And then once you get them to the point where they don't have any way, they've had the opportunity to fess up to something. And then I go, okay, well, what about this? I'm not the guy that's going to go, hey, so anyways, I found this out about you. I want them to have an opportunity to admit to it and go, oh man, I forgot. Oh, whatever. But if I give you opportunity after opportunity to fess up to something and you continually just kind of deflect and all that, and then I present something to them, and then all of a sudden their memory clears up. I gave them the opportunity and I walked them down that path, and that was the end result.
What about the one that babbles when they're caught in the corner?
I talk to people like that all the time.
Well, yeah, we have conversations all the time, Ken.
I tell people you talk too much. If I ask you a question, I just want the answer. I don't want all the peripheral stuff. I don't want excuses. I want the answer to the question. So if you're backed up in the corner and you still can't give me the answer, I'm just going to go, okay, well, that's that.
Okay. All right. If they're starting to fess up to it, does it help them if they start explaining, you know what? Yeah, this happened. I forgot about it. And then start talking about what they learned from their mistake?
Do I ask them that?
No. If they start talking about what they did and all of a sudden they're like, I really learned a lot from that. And since I learned from it, I kind of blocked it out. If they're trying to explain why they didn't disclose it and they want to say, hey, it was a growth thing. Because I've had that. Oh, I learned so much from that, but I just kind of wiped it out of my head because I moved past it.
That doesn't fly with me.
Okay.
Because you can't, unless it was some kind of dramatic PTSD, I blocked it in the back of my memory. Usually they're not like that. And I'm not a psychologist, but generally speaking, when you hit somebody up with information that they did not tell you about, that there's a record for it, I have a hard time buying that.
Can people survive the discrepancy interview and continue to move forward in the process?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Because is that interview, is that kind of like do you set it up as I gotcha? Or is it hey, I want to find out what really happened?
It depends on the type of information that I have. I mean, generally speaking, if there's something like, hey man, something blah, 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 I'll just call them on the phone and go, what's up with that? The candidate, I talked to them, they gave me the, blah, 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 write that down. If you get called in to the BI's office for a clarification or a discrepancy interview, they got something on you. There's something, they're bringing you in because they want to talk to you serious. This is serious.
So going back to the hunting reference, is their goose pretty much cooked then?
If you're called in, I can't really say for certain, but like I said, if you get called in, it's pretty serious, and there's a probability that the BI is probably calling you in to seal the deal, to see what you have to say.
Has anyone ever survived a Ken Roybal clarification interview and moved on in the process?
Not to my knowledge.
Not that you can remember. Wow, that's an applicant. That's an applicant answer that if I've ever heard one.
Has a clarification interview ever resulted in a pass, or is it a done deal? Oh, that's the same thing. Even if the explanation is good. I mean, possibly. There's the problem is now, if when I've done clarification interviews, I've had people come in, and it's not to bury them. It's also giving them a chance to clear something up. But generally speaking, if you call someone in to go to the trouble, go put your suit on, go put your business attire on, show up at this time, and we sit in an interview room, I probably have you dead to rights, and I probably have documentation. I'm not going to call you into the office because, hey, I talked to so and so and they said this. There's usually some kind of documentation. I have proof. I want to know what your take on it is. Usually in those situations, I don't think that candidates generally can get themselves out of it if I got them dead to rights.
All right. All right.
What's your
Yeah.
take on it?
I'm with you. To my knowledge, I don't know if I've ever had anyone survive the clarification interview because it's pretty much a done deal.
Yeah.
You just want to get the final story so that you can record it and be on your merry way.
Yeah, and like I say, if it's not a big deal, and I just want to square it away because there's something that doesn't quite match up, I'm just going to call you. I'm going to get, hey, so blah blah blah, and then I'm just going to make a note of it. I'm not going to have you come in for something that's Mickey Mouse I need to clear up.
Right. Right.
You know.
All right. That's all I really have. But it's nice that you were on here today with me, Ken. I always like to get a war story. But the war story I want from you, Ken, is what is the silliest thing someone lied about and got disqualified for? The silliest thing.
The silliest thing that they lied about?
Mm-hmm.
The silliest thing. I can recall talking to somebody who have you ever been arrested? No, I've never been arrested. I get the college police report. They were arrested for being drunk. And then I go, hey, so blah blah. Anything ever happened in college? This is an in-person I have the arrest report.
Mm-hmm.
No, I've never had a problem in college. Nothing ever. Blah blah blah. Nope. I was clean as a Safeway chicken in college. And then I go, hey, so here's this report. And my dad's a cop, and he went down to the police department and picked me up and said that the police department said they would take care of it. So you lied about being arrested. Yeah, my dad said not to do it. Your dad is a cop? Yeah, he said he took care of it. And then that was it. He would never carry on the legacy of his dad because of his dad. Plus, it was stupid. If you get arrested for being drunk in public, it wasn't drunk driving, it was being drunk in public. He's out and about with his friends, blah, blah, blah. He's on campus. They take him, whatever. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
So because he lied about it, because his dad, who's a cop, told him to lie. If you have somebody who's a cop that you either know is a friend or a relative, last thing you want to do is believe them when they tell you, yeah, don't put that down.
Yeah. If they're a cop and they're telling you how to fill out your PHS and they've never done backgrounds, don't listen to them. They're going to give you bad information.
Do not. And especially look here. On Donovan's name and my name are our Instagram handles. Donovan's website is on there. You have absolutely no excuse to listen to anybody because you can get a hold of us and ask those questions.
Yep. So I think I can trump you.
Can you?
I think we've talked about this before. I had a person come in during their meet and greet interview. And when I was in Washington, when someone would go through a background process, they would get fingerprinted, and that shows up in their criminal history that they were fingerprinted for a job and who fingerprinted them, what the job was for. It would always be law enforcement, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The person sitting there, and then there's the question, how many agencies have you applied to? Who are they? The person did not disclose any agencies. And I said, so have you applied to any other police agencies at all? Gone through a background process, been fingerprinted? Nope, not at all. Mm-hmm. You're sure? Yep, 100% sure. And I have the sheet in front of me saying State Patrol. So, all right, well, part of our process is we need to fingerprint you. We walk back to the fingerprint machine. I'm ready to the fingerprinter, and I tell her, hey, just so you know, we do this fingerprinting because it is tracked in the system in your criminal history as to who you applied to. Oh, really? You know what? I seem to have forgotten that I applied to the State Patrol. Oh, you mean the one that you applied to 2 weeks ago and you already forgot?
I forgot about it.
Yeah. Now, that was, to me, was an easy disqualification. She didn't want me to know that she applied there. deliberately hit it over something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Is that better than yours or not?
I think mine's better.
Well, mine's silly. It's a silly one.
There's stuff that people get DQ'd over this just makes no sense, and it's not a DQ on its own.
Right. Right. It always comes down to the integrity thing. They try to hide it from us.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think it's silly.
That's all I got, Ken.
That's all we
Lauren?
got tonight.
Lauren, do you have anything for us?
Lauren, do you have any last sign off messages? We always ask our hosts if you have something else you want to say before we go. I see nothing.
Yep. I think she might have left.
Yeah.
She
Guess
got
what I'm
tired of
having
us.
for dinner?
I don't know, Ken.
I'm going to have a ribeye steak with caramelized onions and a salad for dinner.
Okay.
Just saying.
Oh.
Oh, wait.
Oh, we got someone new, Luke Straw.
Luke Straw, welcome. What happens if an old roommate from college says something about you that's false? Donovan?
That's a good one. It's going to take some investigation. That's why it's called a background investigation. You got to talk to multiple people. I'm wondering what it could be that was false. And Luke, we're not expecting you to put your life story out there, but I got to do there's got to be something just to back it up. If it's one person saying it, then I'm going to have some hesitation. If I have some documentation or a couple people saying that you did something, then I might start believing it a little bit more. But I got a way. If you guys have had any falling out, that kind of stuff, there's a lot that goes into it. It's hard. That's a hard one to answer. Ken?
On anything, if it's one person's opinion, I generally have to have more than one person's opinion. But Luke, if you go into your background and you know someone's going to talk smack about you, you probably want to mention that on the PHS somewhere. Had a falling out with a friend. This is what happened. Blah blah blah. And that way the background investigator knows you're going to go through your whole background. Everybody's going to talk about you. You're the most magnificent person on earth. And he already knows that there's this one person that has it out for you, and they may talk smack about you. But if it's only one person, unless there's some other person, like other people who are witnesses to whatever they're saying about you, I'm probably going to go, I need more information than that.
Right. Oh, Lauren's popping in here. She'll release us. Thank you. And her comments are delayed. As are mine, and I'm live.
And I'm live. Yeah, I think that. And anybody else have any last minute questions before we go? We're on here.
Ken goes have his steak.
Steak. I just had to say that because I'm hungry. I'm hungry. So Lauren is releasing us to go do our own thing. So that's good too.
Are you going to be back next week or?
I don't know. Should we do
I'm going to be flying. I'm going to be flying on Monday night. Yeah, I'm flying back from Washington after I go see Ken this week. I get to see Ken this week.
We're going to have lunch.
Yes, we're not going to tell anyone where.
No, we can't tell anybody where. Luke, you're very welcome. We do these every week. There's also every week except the weeks that we're not here. But look at our older videos. Also, we are. Let me see. I haven't done this in a while. We are also at policebackground.net and prepforduty.com. Also, search for us. I don't have it here for some reason. The Police Applicant podcast. You can also get a hold of us at our Instagram handles there underneath our names. So with that, Donovan, we may or may not be here next week. We go sometimes week by week. I think Black Rob is still missing for another week, right?
I think so. That's why it'd be a solo show for you unless you can get Lauren on.
Yeah. We'll have to see if Lauren is available to be on the show, because we need that snarkiness in a voice on the show.
And then you can just give her my pay for the week.
Give her hair for the week. Can you even afford it?
Uh-oh.
Oh, what happened?
You missed the comment there from Lauren.
I did.
Boys trip. Well, we're not traveling together. I'm actually going to meet him at an undisclosed location.
We
It's
won't
like
even
halfway.
say the state.
Yeah.
Texted Dixon. Donovan and I periodically meet up and talk about all kinds of different things, even though we talk about 1 or 2 times a week anyways. Oh no, what? Is this something problem?
I take all the tax deductions I can get. I have no problem with that.
Donovan's good.
Calm down, Lauren. I can block your comments.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
All right. Well, that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, I'm going back in the comments. There's nothing that we have missed, I don't
Nope.
think. I don't think we've missed anything in the comments, so we're clear there. Welcome to the show, Luke, and appreciate you being here. Like I say, check out other videos. We do some interesting stuff. But other than that, that's it for me. And that's it for you.
Oh, that's it for me too. I didn't know I was supposed to say that. Okay.
All right, we'll talk to you guys soon.